when I was improving this language at that time, I read a lot. I read all the time. One passage at least for 5, 6 times every day. One small passage, and I always read those passages, those texts which were written by Indian authors, so that I could get that passage. Once, when I was reading a book, it was an English chapter. I don't remember which chapter it was, but when I was reading, I came across a sentence. It was a small sentence, and that sentence was jot down some things in your notebook. So, because that word jot was totally unfamiliar to me, that's why I thought to, you know, learn that word. So, I went to Google and searched for that word. But then when I realized I just learned jot, then why they did attach this down word to this jot word? When I went to Google and searched for this word jot down, then I learned the jot down word is a phrasal verb. Till that time, I had no idea what are phrasal verbs. But when I searched for phrasal verbs, I learned that if you learn at least 500 phrasal verbs, you would be able to speak English language. So because I just wanted to improve this language as soon as possible, then I started learning all those phrasal verbs. But to be very honest, I just learned 300 phrasal verbs. Because when I started to learning all those phrasal verbs, at that time I didn't just only learn their meaning. Every day I did learn at least 20 phrasal verbs. But when I was learning or searching for those phrasal verbs, I had to learn so many things with that phrasal verbs, like their meanings in English language in my mother tongue, and their sentences, 2, 3 sentences. That's why I had to give it at least 2 months to learn all those phrasal verbs. But to be very honest, these phrasal verbs helped me a lot to improve this language. I do make use of those phrasal verbs in my spoken English even. And if you think that you are not aware of phrasal verbs, then go to Google and search for all those phrasal verbs. There are so many videos. In those videos, they have told all phrasal verbs because I have learned only 300 phrasal verbs. That's why I can't give you all that data. And how phrasal verbs help you to improve this language, let me tell you. If there are some words which are sophisticated, and at that time, instead of using those sophisticated words, you can use phrasal verbs. That's why I feel they are easy to improve this language. And I do use these phrasal verbs in my spoken English. But when you start to learn all these phrasal verbs, make sure that you are also writing, its meaning in your language and also its meaning in English language. And below that, all phrasal verbs, you must write down at least 2, 3 sentences and try to make use of all those sentences in your daily life. That's how you can, easily get used to all these phrasal verbs, and you don't even need to use sophisticated words in your English language. And that's how phrasal verbs make your English so easy. Thank you for watching my video.